Hey, Michaela Vernava in the NESN studios along with Nick Goss. And Nick, as we head into the final weeks of the NHL season, I want to look at the power rankings and who's rising in the ranks this week.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are on fire. Even with Evgeny Malkin injured for several weeks, they've won 6 straight, the longest active streak in the NHL. And what's really been impressive about them is their bottom 6 forwards. They're providing that necessary scoring depth that they've really lacked in recent playoff runs. And that has made them, it's going to make them a really tough out in round one. The favorites in the East do not want to play the Penguins in round one based on their depth, the goaltending of Marc-Andre Fleury, and of course, you're the best player in the world, Sidney Crosby. So the Penguins definitely on fire right now.
Well, I know a certain producer of ours who will be happy to hear that, but moving on, who's falling in the ranks?
The New York Islanders, and it kind of combines with the Penguins. The Penguins' winning ways and the Islanders' 4-game losing streak has dropped the Islanders from 3rd in the Metro to the first wildcard spot in the East, and that could set up a fierce battle for the 2 wildcard spots in the East between the Islanders, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Philadelphia Flyers. And given the Islanders' recent struggles, it's conceivable that they can miss the playoffs altogether. And just a few weeks ago, that would have been unthinkable. But you know, they're really struggling. They have a tough schedule to finish out the regular season.
Well, now the Boston Bruins have lost their last few games, albeit against pretty tough opponents. Where does that leave them in the rankings?
Yeah, going 0 for 3 on the California trip is really not a, I mean, it's obviously you don't want to lose games, but it's not really a horrific result, given that those are 3 of the best teams in the league. There were some good signs on that trip from the Bruins, but they need more bottom 6 scoring. The Bergeron line, the Krejci line have carried them for the last few weeks in March. Ryan Spooner has done very little on 5-on-5. Jimmy Hayes has been pretty much entirely absent, even if it was a healthy scratch. They also need more production from the 4th line, which had started out pretty good after the trade deadline, but has since tailed off. So they'll need goaltending from Rask, but they really need the bottom 6 to step up, and so they don't have to rely on the top 6 forwards as much. If they get that, they can hold on to their lead, which is only 3 points over the Red Wings in the Atlantic Division.
All right, thanks, Nick. For all your NHL news, make sure to keep it on NESN.com.